All of the commissioners are here in person in the Kalani Moku Building, Boardroom in Honolulu. We ask that members of the public testifying on agenda items limit your testimony to 3 minutes so we can get through everyone. I also know there's overwhelming support for Kaleo Manuel. And many of you have questions. Okay, go into public testimony.
Chair, can I make an announcement? If any of you signed up for testimony, can you give your time to Maui, please? Thank you. They woke up 5 o'clock this morning to catch a plane here. And they have limited time and their voices should be centered today. Thank you.
Thank you for that comment. I appreciate that. So I'm gonna go down the list that I have. And if you are willing to let someone go ahead of you, someone from Maui, that's great. So the first person I have on the list is Jade Chihara. Go ahead.
Good morning, Chair.
Good morning.
Commission and staff and everybody who came. My love to everybody here today. My name is Jade Chihara. I'm born and raised in Lahaina. And I'm speaking on behalf of my family who lost everything in the fire. In memory of my neighbor who has no idea about the commission or the water code, but still displayed the most efficient use of water and grew the best flowers and fruits in his garden. And in hope that our community's voices are heard today, because no government and no American system process of testimony has seemed to create a positive change in our favor lately. I understand that this is a non-action item, but I'm hoping that a commissioner can make a motion to reinstate Kaleo Manuel and to monitor the IIFS. I was at Kaula Stream Bridge last week Wednesday, the 13th, and there's no water in that stream. And so I'm worried that even though that the designation for groundwater and surface water is back in effect, it's not being monitored, and there's no staff there to ensure that. I feel that like failure to act within your authority and to make this happen. I understand that it's non-action and you guys have to do what you have to do, but in the same way that hurts because it puts you in the same position as an officer who sat in the car while our people need our help. And we're asking you these things and we're asking for your help to make this happen. Even though it's not in your authority, I'm asking for something to happen today. We need our groundwater and surface water monitored, and we need Kaleo Manuel. Thank you very much. And excuse me, but if you know anybody who lives in Launiopoko, the biggest donation that they can give is the water in their swimming pools. That's all I have to say. So thank you very much.
Hello, Chair Chang, members of the commission. My name is Taikavika Tengan. Here also on behalf of my brother Keolo Mau Tengan, who had to evacuate his house in Kula. My wife Ku'ule Reyes Tengan, whose cousin Melva Honeygirl Benjamin perished in Lahaina fires. I know Kaleo to be a man of integrity, whose expertise and ability to work with the community is rare. We find ourselves here today because the deadly wildfires in Lahaina have shown us the true cost of colluding with the corporate dewatering of our islands, peoples, and places. The Water Commission has an opportunity now to remember its obligation to uphold the public trust and to trust that the public will uphold their own obligations and remember this commission's decisions. I kindly ask the Water Commission to maintain Maui Komohana Water Management Area designation, ensure updated interim in-stream flow standards for West Maui are being met, and to reinstate Kaleo Manuel as Deputy Director. I urge the staff to continue their efforts to implement our water code, to manage and protect our most precious resource, our public trust that is the vai. And above all, please acknowledge the leadership and wisdom of the Kupa and Kama'aina of Maui Komohana and allow them to lead in all decision-making that impacts the future of their mo'o. Mahalo.
Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Kekai Kiai from Lahaina. These things in front of you, Ihivai, Opai, Pohole, this star was found only in West Maui, up in Honoka'a Valley, because of with wheelie folks who hiking up into the valley. Nobody else get this star, except for now. These things all depend on the water. So what we started to learn as I was going through the process of fighting for water was, if the Muliwai, the estuaries get water, we get water. If the in-stream life get water, we get water. If the Tarpatch get water, we get water. So what we found out, we was last. We never first. The place, the fish, the aquatic, like the stream, they first. As long as they get, we get. Yeah. I like to address a narrative that was put out there. That was started by West Maui Land Company through the letters. It was hard to read those letters, knowing how hard we fight, and then use this time of hurt and pain to leverage you folks to remove Khalil. We never need more hurt to come to us in Lahaina. We already get more than we need. The narrative that West Maui Land put out in their letter was repeated by the governor. And now, if you look on the continent at their news stations, Khalil turned off the water. He's the one. That guy only did his job to the best of his ability. No other director did the job as well as he did his job. And Khalil should be put back into this position right away. Because when you guys do that, and you guys sought to protect the public trust, then maybe you guys regain the public's trust. You guys understand? Let me go to it. Private purveyors control 75% of our water resources on West Maui. We only utilize 25%. None of their systems tie into the county system. So when we go on drought restrictions, never mind the fire, when we go on drought restrictions, we may to pay a fine if we use too much water. The swimming pools is still full. The golf course is still green. The rainforest landscape is still lush in the most driest parts of Lahaina. How come we no more access to that water? If water is a public trust, why do they control 75% of the water? And the rest of the public is made to utilize 25%. And then made to fear of using too much water that we're gonna pay a $500 fine. Let me see. This is one thing that went stump a lot of us. We fought so hard to put these protections into place because we knew forward looking that by protecting these waters, maintaining the streams, that was going to super recharge our aquifers and flip the scale where our chloride levels go down and we bring more water availability to the future so that our kids can have. That's a forward looking that we had. But the protections, we never realized needed protections from the government, from the governor, that should have never been on the table. And so, as one thing I'll explain to you, Don, when you guys talk about make sure we come out there and the commission know, every time when we commission came to Lahaina, we brought hundreds. A lot of us here, 30 or 40 of us was willing to make the trek to come here, 4 o'clock in the morning, waking up to get here, for make sure our presence is known. When you come Lahaina, be ready for see hundreds. One thing about Lahaina, we fierce. We studied. We know what we're talking about. We know why WAI. Do you know why WAI is the question? I was going to leave you with one last thing. And this is from our beloved school that sit on that mountain. That is our bright shining star, Lailuna High School. And in the alma mater that we sing all the time, it says, Huianu Kawai Mauka. The cold chilling waters up Mauka, yeah, that the birds bathe in. Those waters is the ones we protect. Those waters are going to super recharge our aquifers. And lastly, the motto of Lahaina High School. Yeah, not even the fierce winds of Kaula can extinguish our fire, our light. So when you come to Lahaina, be ready. Yeah, you're going to have to hear things that you guys might not want to hear, but the trust of the public went right out the door with this emergency proclamation. So protect the public trust, you might earn back the public's trust. The hivai you charge with making sure you put that in the river when you go home. The opai too. You guys can eat the tau, eat the pohole, but you guys are charging, restocking you guys, because we do that. We go to different rivers and restock our streams that was missing for 130 years. You know, West Maui Company, the criminals, $500 fine, $500,000 fine for Oluwalu. Prior to that, they was diverting Oluwalu stream illegally. After the IFS, they stopped the water in Kahoma twice, and now in Kaula. So how you take something from one thief and say, okay, we're going to use your letter, yeah, to create this emergency proclamation and remove the state water code from one thief. You will not do that in court. But you took this letter from one thief that he was trying for leverage so that he can get his agenda passed. He's the most hated guy in all of West Maui. Let them know how much you hate them, you guys. Thank you.
Aloha Chair, aloha Commissioners. My name is Tiare Lawrence. I am descendant of Ohana Kaleopu, who has lived for generations in Lele, the historic name for Lahaina, on Hale Street. Our family home perished in the fire, and with the grace of Akua, our tutu escaped the fire just in time. I am upset that I am here today because I should be at home delivering donations and preparing for a funeral this weekend of my dear cousin, who many of us in this room are related to. The week after the fires, we felt tragically devastated. Our family's pu'uhonua is now burned to ash. On top of not knowing if our missing family and friends were still alive that week, we were left having to fight off land speculators and water grabbers like West Maui Land Company and owners Peter Martin and Glenn Tremble. And at the same time, working to find housing, clothing, and food for our ohana. The ongoing struggle over management in West Maui is well documented. However, Hawaii and the world is facing new wave of awareness in which environmental stewardship is prioritized above corporate interests. Since the recent return of Vai in Maui Komohana, we have seen firsthand the restoration of native stream life. Now that the lifeblood of Maui Komohana is flowing again, Ohana have returned to their ancestral lands to cultivate kalo in places like Kohoma. Some of my greatest memories I've made since the return of Vai to Kohoma with my children are the taro piece sessions with my Uncle Archie. There is hope that the ecosystem and Kanaka can flourish together once more. Our ohana and many others from Maui Komohana have diligently persevered through the water use permit application process. It would be heartbreaking beyond measure to have all of this effort and progress go to waste, especially in light of devastation we are currently healing from. I urge the Commission to stop the insanity of building gentlemen estates and infinity pools under the guise of so-called fire suppression. Lahaina needs regenerative agriculture, wetland restoration, and true workforce housing for generational residents. And when we talk about water resource management in Lahaina, we also have to talk about tourism management. Tourism is a #1 environmental degradator on Maui, and that includes excessive consumption of our public trust resources. For the record, I want to applaud the Commission under Kaleo's leadership for establishing IIFS, and a special mahalo to Aaron for doing such a good job at gathering data. Last while, we appreciate the Commission holding this meeting on Oahu. Please have your next meeting concerning Maui on our island so that more of our community can participate. He aloha, he alo, face to face. This is how trust is built, and with respect to DLNR, how trust will be rebuilt. Mahalo for your time and commitment to our most precious resource. Ola i ka wai.
Thank you, Terry. I have John Cardy. John?
Wait, what are the two?
Oh, the other two was Kalamaehu and Kanoilani.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, please, go ahead. Go ahead. Thank you.
Alani kako, o Kanoilani Stewart ko uino he kupa no Lahaina. My name is Kanoilani Stewart, born and raised in Lahaina. I'm all for the opportunity to testify today and providing updates about water in Maui Komohana. I'm a kumu olala Hawaii ke kula kaipuni o Lahaina. In fact, I wrote my master's thesis on Vai of Maui Komohana, paying special attention to its place within the history of water in Hawaii, emphasizing the sugar plantation era and outlining historical accounts from our Nupepa olala Hawaii from the 19th century in regards to West Maui at that time, as well as the results suffered from that plantation era that continue to affect water usage and distribution today. So much about what we need to know is in our repository of Hawaiian language newspapers. There are so many answers that are embedded in our language and our practices. And now more than ever, we have to return to them to solve really pressing issues. We have come to the commission today amidst a devastation and during a super hectic time. We also lost our house as well, still working to file our insurance claims. And I cannot begin to explain how exhausted and overwhelmed we are. But we thought it was important to come here today and ask you directly for three things. First, please uphold the law, respect the interim in-stream flow standards and water management area. This is not my first time in front of the Water Commission. I've been here advocating for Vai in Maui Komohana since 2017, 2018, when I was working for the Nature Conservancy Hawaii and working closely with DAR, serving native fish assemblages in our West Maui streams. I have supported the restoration of our streams from Ukumehame to Honokohau and worked closely with Commission staff to do so. So many of our West Maui community have done so much work to comply with your process and timeline. Don't let us down now after we have worked so diligently to help establish these critical layers of protection. We need to continue moving forward with our interim in-stream flow standards and designation. Second, reinstate Deputy Manuel. In all the time that we have been working with Deputy Manuel, he has been fair and transparent, committed to prioritizing our public trust resource, bridging gaps, and is trustworthy. How can we trust this commission, this governor to do what is pono when this is how they treat their own? He is the best person for the job, and we trust him to advocate for pono at a crucial time. Finally, listen to the Kama'aina with generational ties to this place. There are so many experts, practitioners, and community leaders here in this room telling you the same thing. Please don't continue to fall for disaster capitalism and disenfranchise our ohana, our resource, and our people. We can't afford to go backwards, especially after Aaron's presentation and the declining amount of rainfall that we're currently experiencing. Please do what is pono, prioritize the restoration of our West Maui watersheds, follow through on the alternative resources that Aaron presented, and continue to think about the next generation. We brought our 1-year-old Keiki here today. Think about him and his future to be able to experience freshwater streams flowing in Maui Komohana from Uka to Kai, to be able to experience Hihivai, Opai, and the 5 different O'opu, to be able to engage in our cultural practices because there is a sufficient amount of water because of the decisions that you make today and at future CWARE meetings. Again, we're asking that you uphold the law, respect the water management area and IIFSs, reinstate Deputy Manuel, and listen to the Kama'aina of our place. Mahalo nui.
Hello, my name is Kalamaehu Takahashi, and I'm from Maui and a resident of the Lahaina and Ka'anapali-Moku. Our baby is a Lahaina boy, and we have to make sure that he can be proud of that for all his life. Mahalo for the opportunity to testify on this important matter. Maui Komohana has been ravaged by the effects of colonization for over a century. Sugar plantations and more recently, the tourist luxury development industries and private utility corporations like West Maui Land, Launiopoko Irrigation, Peter Martin, Open Corporates, it's a long list, who continue to abuse and steal our resources for American economic gain as we speak in this room now. While we struggle to losing ohana without stable housing, water, and some of our ohana, of course, who perished. Launiopoko Irrigation diverted all water from Ko'ula, leaving ohana in the valley without water for kalo and fire suppression. In Honokohau, ohana were without water for over a month, and the contracted irrigators have not been transparent with the community in their compliance with the IFS. In these times, let us not forget East Maui, Nawai'eha, and all communities across Hawaii and the world that fight for the right to malama our own resources. These corporations need to be held accountable and in compliance with the IFS, and all we need to remember that they have been violating the protections afforded by the IFS and the water code from long before this issue, and took advantage of the fire situation to further their agendas at the expense of families already in despair. How does further disenfranchising our lineal descendant kalo farmers and other ohana of Lahaina create a safe and abundant future beyond these colonial barriers when they are the ones that hold the key to our desired future? How does flooding Lahaina with tourists, forcing ohana out of their dwellings in hotels and back into servitude to people who are clearly sick and cannot see the issue with coming to a disaster zone to go on vacation? It's not. It's insensitive, it's inappropriate, and it's inhumane to expect us to further dehumanize ourselves so they can enjoy our place and our resources while you're struggling to keep a roof over our head and our families together. Worse even, these are the structures that literally stand on the eve of our kupuna and our institutions that poison our minds to think that sustainability can only come from servitude under occupation. You talk about housing, but willing to put us out for make room for tourists. That no can. Yesterday in the place where we were staying, we were off to school and they were already visitors and they had the audacity to ask, where aloha? Doesn't that mean love? The most shocking, though not surprising part of all of this is the role that the governor and his affiliates played in the aftermath of the climate calamity that they're directly responsible for this disaster. Furthermore, in the wake of all of this, weaponizing an inaccurate narrative and abusing the power he bestowed upon himself to attempt the fast-track development of these profiteers and add salt to our wide-open wounds by attempting to roll back the protections that these ohana have fought generations, I repeat, generations for. The State Water Code, IFS, and now more recently the designations. Our history of resilience and kuleana to our resources traces back to time immemorial, with the only accounts of famine coming as a result of American domination, and with just over a century, and all of that, and in just over a century, all that you've built upon our sacred sites and our abundant lands have been destroyed, and we are the ones that paid the ultimate price. We're here to right these wrongs and to do what is pono. Personally, I don't trust the governor or his administration to do what is right, and you've both done us, and you've all, in my eyes, you've done us a serious disservice to our Lahaina community. How can we trust this commission, the governor, to do what is pono when this is how they treat our own kaleo, particularly on Hawaiian? If you're serious about your responsibility to protect this public trust resource, we need Deputy Manuel. Chair Chang, you said yourself that he's laid a strong foundation. Why wouldn't we stand on that and continue to build? Why would you cut his legs off when he did nothing wrong and at a time when we need him most? Why was he targeted? You also said that kaleo is good at bringing people together. Why not just bring him back and let him do his thing? Governor Green was quick to defend Nani Medeiros when she was being bullied, quote unquote bullied. Where was the governor defending Deputy Manuel against the national news, slandering our culture, slandering our people? What is the administration and this commission, what this administration and this commission does is a lot about how to value people, how they value the people in this place. How are you going to hold West Maui land and affiliates accountable? Actions speak louder than words and we're paying attention. What side of fish are you going to stand on? You have the power to decide if you have the courage. We're in this for the long haul. We're not backing down. Please uphold the law, uphold designation, reinstate Deputy Manuel, and follow his example by just doing your job. Finally, this is a kahea, a call to our working class ohana to stand in solidarity with the Lahui Hawaii to resist corporate control of our resources and to demand a future that puts the needs of our people and our aina first. We stand with you, Hawaii. Ilaha ho ka aina e ho'i ka nani moku ula e ola i ka bai. Mahalo.
Thanks for this opportunity to speak. I'm John Carty from Save Honolulu Coalition, and this is by Lani. And I have 3 minutes here. I'm going to just skim through it to make time for others in the community. But I could talk here about the state of Honolulu Apua'a because the lifeblood of our Apua'a has been diverted since 1913. I think we all know it's not a happy tale. Us personally, we're a small scale farm. And we're not allowed to pull stream water to water our plants. We have an application. I hope that you approve it because it's Vailani's future of growing food for our family and our community. Please approve everybody else's applications. When Hawaiians were managing the land and natural resources, everything flourished. Food and water were abundant. The Lahaina fire is the most tragic of consequences of more recent land management practices that have led to fallow wastelands of dryness, while luxury homes, golf courses, and private pools are flourishing, not the people, not the aina. So I have a lot of sympathy for all of you for inheriting this situation. And I ask this question to people that aren't in this room and the governor and anyone else who has a say in this. Who is going to support the status quo of water privatization, benefiting the business of high-end development, swimming pools, golf courses, and ultimately the devastation, if not the genocide of Hawaiians and their culture in Lahaina throughout the state? Who in this group is going to uphold water as a public resource, reinstate Kaleo Manuel, and make a commitment to including Hawaiians for good and their natural resource science in your decision-making? The world is watching and history is being written. How will you be remembered? Chair, we shared a very special moment up at Honolulu Bay the day that the yacht got yanked out of there. And your chief was chanting and you were praying, we were holding hands. And when the boat got lifted off the reef, a giant gust of Makani came and filled our face on an otherwise stagnant day. Whales popped up right behind the boat and escorted that boat to make sure that it got out to sea. What was that? It was the spirit of the land and the water and the people. So I ask you to honor that spirit by reinstating Kaleo Manuel, making water a public resource, and make sure that Hawaiians and their science are at the forefront of your decision making. Thank you.
Thank you very much.